Hi there. Yama Shang here. And I was asked the question earlier about how I'm doing. And really what came up was in this moment, I'm feeling good. But before that, I woke up out of bed and the first things that came to my mind were around how much I wasn't doing, how much there was still left for me to do. And then there came this realization, well, what if I was able to be graceful about it? And what if I actually was able to receive some of the feedback and comments that I've gotten from others? Turns out there's actually a lot that I'm doing. Just continuing to show up is a lot in this point. And it's not even just enough. It's a lot at this point. And being able to spend some time slowing down into that and coming with that recognition, I just basically realized a story that I had been telling myself around my actions, my inaction, the long list of things left to do. It's an element here that I want to make sure I'm starting out and being real with all of you and just really coming into this space. Today, we're going to have an opportunity here. There's been to really do something different. We're a part of this tribe. We're part of this community for a reason. I want to just make sure we start out anchoring ourselves into that. You see, when you come into my space here, when you come to the Nyama Shang, the trailblazer space here, things operate differently than in the rest of the world. At times, I call this an oasis, right? An opportunity to recharge, to re-energize, realign, and reconnect. And given the current context of it all, your energy and your direction as an individual is incredibly important to keep you moving forward. I have this context that I'm using this concept that I think about right now, where I feel like we're all in like oceans of uncertainty. Like the whole world went to a big ocean of uncertainty. Wherever you are, the waves are crashing in different ways. There's no place to really put your solid footing down. There's the wind can blow you in different ways. We're all just like in the ocean. And what I found is that there's three types of people in this current experience. The people who are treading water in the ocean. They're there, and the waves are crashing over them, and they're doing whatever they can just to stay up. Right? They're like, my heart right now in this very moment is feeling so much compassion for that, for those of us that are in that position where we're just like, how do we stay afloat right now? There's another group, and I'm starting to see more of these that have found like rafts and like different life preserving materials. They're able to find something that can help them like continue to actually float where it isn't their energy, and they're kind of like, let's just wait this out. Let's see where the wind blows. Let's see where the waves take us. But like, I at least have something where I can be solid and continue to ride this out on that raft. And there's a third group of people that I found that have come in and they're now in a place where they're like, we are still in this ocean and we're not sure where things are going, but it's almost as though they have a speedboat. And with that speedboat, they have their own motorized engine, right? They're able to cultivate their own energy. They're able to use their own compasses to navigate that ocean of uncertainty and be able to steer on it toward directions that they're looking for. And, while this is a concept here, I think we can all think about different people that we know that might be in different stages of that. And the thing about this year that I'm finding is that, all the stages are beautiful, they're needed, and they're just as fluid as the ocean. For myself in particular, there are times where I'm like, I feel like I am driving my speedboat, and I have direction, and I know where I'm going in here, and then I get hit with a huge wave, and I feel like I'm back into the water, and I'm just trying to keep afloat again. All right, or there's different areas of my life where I'm finding out with my health, like I'm allowing that to deteriorate. I haven't really found a great exercise regime, and I haven't really carved out the time for that. And so in that regard, I'm out there swimming, and in other places, I'm feeling a lot more solid. I'm feeling a lot more like that I can navigate. So I want to I think it's really important. I want to give us that context, a little bit of that framework for us to kind of think through things conceptually, and to also be in a place where we know that it can be fluid. And on any given day, in any given moment, anything can take us from one to the other. When you come into my space, my goal is to remind you that there's a speedboat somewhere. It might be first to like help you rest on my shoulder as you're from treading water in all the uncertainty. It might be to help provide some wind or provide some nourishment while you're on that raft. And for a lot of us, and for some of us, we'll be ready to get onto a speedboat and actually see where do we want to navigate this change, this uncertainty for ourselves. I'm gonna be focusing on really helping us have that sense of agency and, more importantly, creativity and energy to really be able to navigate this. And the greatest part about this here is while these spaces are created and the intention lies in that regard, we're also going to be doing it together. Be able to go out and find other people that are on their rafts and, be able to not have to just do it all alone. So that's the intention of every time we come together in this space. Every time that's my intention that I carry through in every single conversation that I have. I have no idea how it's going to play out, but to help keep ourselves in the place of being empowered, or not even empowered, powerful. My mission for the last 3 years has been to bring together a truly inclusive and empowered world. And right now, what it feels like that we need is really that empowered area to be able to stay in creation and to be able to continue to nourish ourselves so that we not only get through this, but when we look back at this time, we're able to actually feel that we've been able to make progress as well. I want to leave that possibility open as well. I think that's when you enter my space and we enter the space that we are creating, it's about keeping that possibility alive. I'm really excited here for you all to play in that possibility with me, right? And to have each other along the way. For today, we have what we'll do here is each time we meet, we have the same intention, but we'll do things in different ways, right? For today, what I love to do is give you all a chance to get to know each other, to answer a question that will help us all get to know each other and see where we are in this moment, and then give us a chance to. One of my gifts is coaching. And I realize that even in community, I want to give space for that kind of service. So we're going to be meeting each other and also continue to grow through our interactions together. Okay? Awesome. So let's start this off here by just going around and sharing, just bring ourselves into this room. As we bring ourselves into the room, I realize that I want to just jump on because it's been a few minutes already and just be like, hey, let's just jump into it. But at this point, I think it's important to really make sure that we ground ourselves and really bring ourselves in. So if you can with me, we're just going to take 3 deep cleansing breaths. And with each breath, allow more of what was going on for you beforehand or anything that will come after this time together. Allow that to take a space outside. You can always walk back into that afterwards. But with each breath, find yourself bringing yourself more and more into this moment and to the reason that you showed up. All right. We'll take 3 deep breaths together, in through the nose, down through your throat, down through your back, and just fill up the bottom of your belly. And then let that out with a sigh. Another deep cleansing breath. Bring yourself in through the nose. Find yourself just relaxing into this moment. And with your 3rd breath, go ahead and breathe deep into your belly and give yourself that gift of life. You are here right now. This breath reminds you that you've chosen to be here. Well, let's all come back here together. And then let's introduce ourselves. We're going to start with Zach, then we'll go to Monique, then we'll go to Megan, all right? And what I'd like for you to do is just go on, state your name. It's always like state your name, gangster. So state your name, where you're located in the world, and in a sentence or two, why you decided to come today. My invitation for you is every one of you have been invited by me, and every one of you will continue to be invited by me. My invitation is to not is to go a level or two deeper. What is it for you? What is the reason that you decided to come and be here? And let's make sure we're oriented toward that just to start us all out. My reason for being here was to help people remember the speedboat and be able to navigate that ocean and to be able to be in a world of possibility while being grounded and energized. What's your reason for being here? Take about a second here to think about it. And then Zach, when you're ready, let us know your name, your where you're located, and your reason for being here, your real reason of being here.
Yeah, thanks, Niyama. Nice to meet you, Monique and Megan. My name is Zach, and I'm based in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles area. The real reason why. So I'm gonna tell you a few things. One, the thing that popped into my head as like a safe answer was to connect with other people, and that's true. But I think a deeper reason is that's vulnerable for me is to say I've been needing things to fill my time, and I've been saying yes to a lot of Zoom meetings because of an excess of time, and because I have a lot of fear and things come up with a lot of time. And so originally that was the intention. Today I'm feeling really good. And so my intention is shifting to connection, and I'm here to learn from you all as well. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach. And thank you for really like shedding the surface to get to what's deeper there. I'm interested to see how the intention continues to shift for you all throughout this time. It's wonderful to have you here. Monique, let's bring you into the room.
Hi. So I'm Monique. I'm from Winnipeg, Canada. I think why I showed up today was because I've been living in a lot of fear space, especially with we're supposed to be moving and now that's offset, and we have to find a place to live. So I've been like frantically searching for a new home, and I today woke up and was like, I'm just going to be really intentional that I want to be in a faith space, not a fear space. So did, a little prayer, kind of like giving it up to Creator to just like help me in this time and help everyone else who's kind of been struggling too. So for me to show up here today is me just honoring that I can be in a faith space and I can be within community, and just kind of like let go of the fear-based stuff for now.
Awesome. That there's even that distinction, faith versus fear-based right now. That is, for me, that's really serving. That's something that even just in hearing that is a frame that I can make a choice each day with. And so I appreciate you bringing that into our space here today. Wonderful. So we'll go on and continue here. There's the question that I have for each of you here. And I'd like for you to I'm going to ask the question first, and then I'd like you to just spend about 30 seconds to reflect on it. And then we'll come in, we'll share a little bit about that. What we'll do is that as we're getting to know each other, as we're getting a chance to explore deeper here, we'll share one person at a time around this. And then we'll be that'll be our first round. We'll just come in and hear and listen. And then we'll do some debrief collectively around that. All right. And then we'll open things up for anything else that needs to be in this space. Okay. Wonderful. And so the question here is, what is the story that you're telling yourself during this time, and I would actually say at this time? What is the story that you're telling yourself at this time? You heard a little bit of my story this morning when I was like, I'm not doing enough. There's so much more that needs to get done, so on and so forth. I'm going to give us an opportunity to really see, where are we right now? What is the story that you're telling yourself right now? to give you, as we come here, I'm going to give us some opportunity to really just allow whatever has come up for now to be there. I'm tempted right now to go to see, let's go levels deeper beyond it. But I think first I want to just give space to what showed up for you or what isn't showing up for you. So let's do that first and foremost here. I shared earlier the story that's coming up for me. Let me be in community with you as well here today. And so I'll also answer that question right now. I told you what the first story was. And let me just check in right now into this moment, what the story is that I'm telling myself. The story that I'm telling myself right now is that people aren't ready to be on the speedboat. That I am tone deaf for wanting to create environments where people can be in a mode of creation versus a mode of stagnation or waiting to see. I think there's really more of a wait and see. And that's a story that I've been telling myself, that people don't even want this. Is this even relevant? And beyond irrelevance, is it hurtful? And there's a story that I have that I'm telling myself around that, that doesn't feel like I want to share, because I'm like, no, we're going to keep moving forward. But it's also the truest story right now. I think I want to let that be for this part of the share here. Allow that to be my truth. Monique, how about you? What's the story that you're telling yourself right now?
Yeah. So there's like this one story that's like, I won't be provided for. Like I won't have the things that I need. There's a bigger story that's been my struggle for a while now. That's like, I'm a fraud. And I laugh because it's uncomfortable to say that. But trying to create something has been really hard to do. And I feel like when I struggle with being able to like tell people that it's been like absolutely fucking hard to create my own coaching practice. And like, there's some people that I can be like, that I have to put on this like mask, like, this is what I do and it's all great and fantastic and blah, 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 blah. And just like show me as a successful person. But the truth is like, I worked my ass off and like, I'm kind of tired of working right now.
Thank you for that, Monique. Thank you for bringing all that in and bringing that truth. One of the things I'm realizing is that I want to make sure we respect everything that as we're sharing, and we're also here in community. We're connected. So when I have some hand signals that I like to use to help us go through, and one of them is to use our thumb and our pinky to say, "I get you." You know, there's something in there that resonates with me, right? We can also use spirit fingers to say, like, "I acknowledge you," as well. Right. And so in response to what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Zach, how about you? What's the story you're telling yourself right now?
I really liked the way that Monique, you unpacked that, and I resonated a lot with what you were saying. There's like 3 levels to this, and I don't mean to draw it out, but right in this moment, the story I'm telling myself is I don't have anything to offer to this group, which is totally not true at all. Today, the story has been I'm a really good coach because I had an amazing first call with a lead, and just I haven't felt that way, and so it was a gift. And the larger context of my life lately is my life is falling apart. That's the story that I'm, like on a bigger scale, I'm telling myself.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you for bringing that in here. we're going to be, I'm looking forward to exploring all this year and giving us more space with it all. Yeah, I want to just acknowledge you all for just bringing what's real into this space from the get go. Megan, are you back with us now? I had you muted, so I'm going to unmute you if that's okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, I am back. My phone died, so I needed to wait for the juice to turn on. I apologize. I missed Monique's intro.
Well, let's do this here. We'd love to bring you into the room, right? And know that you are incredibly welcome, and just like we just want you to just come dive in with us. Like, it was great to have you back. Let's make sure that you get a chance to come into the room. We're doing this here. Can you tell us your name, where you're located, and the real reason that you're here, the deep reason that you're in this space? Let's all get a chance to get to meet Megan here.
Absolutely. So my name is Megan. I am in Miami, Florida, and I heard about this call through another call that I do with Nemo, where it's just a bunch of old friends hashing it up, and two of them had been on the call one week and just were raving about it. And knowing Nemo personally and the work he does, I was eager to hop in and see what there is to share. And it just seemed like there was a lot of depth to it. And I myself right now, quarantine aside, have been in the last year or so on a journey of self-exploration, I would say. I kind of like hit a wall on the path that I was pursuing, and wasn't sure if I was the wall or if the path I was pursuing was the wall. So I've gained some clarity on that, and I'm just continuing to dive deeper and really working on that, but it's also myself, like really keeping all the things that I think people are focusing on now with quarantine, such as physical health, mental health, spiritual well-being. I was trying to do that like super hard before this happened. So now that it is, I'm trying to keep all of those in focus, as well as, you know, discovering what I'm here to do, and keep the noise of the outside down a little bit and go within through connection here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Megan, for being here, and thank you for allowing yourself to go on that journey. You're in a wonderful space for that. If you're looking for depth, for connecting to your purpose, you're in a wonderful space for that. I'd also like to bring you into this second part of the conversation. What we're doing right now, right, is that we're asking ourselves the question: what is the story that we're telling ourselves right now? What's the story that we're telling ourselves? I think you heard a little bit of where Zach, the story that Zach just shared. My story. I want to actually just leave that space here and just allow you to come into this here and give us a chance to connect with it. So what's the story that you're telling yourself right now? Do you need anything else on that? Does that feel like you can?
No, that feels right for sure. The story that I am telling myself, so I heard you in the beginning mention the speedboat, and I really resonated with that and was like, yes, like that's where I'm at right now. I want to move forward with that. However, I recognize that for quite some time, I had a really, really loud voice that was telling me, like, your life's falling to pieces, and you don't know your purpose in life, and you are pursuing this thing, and is that what you like? And like I said, that was before quarantine. That was like last year's stuff, and I was just working to get out of that. So with what's going on in the outside world, I'm super grateful that I had a couple months in me of like steering forward and going steadfast, that I, you know, have these new neural pathways of my old self of, yes, you can do it. You're on the right path. Only great things lie ahead of me, et cetera, having faith. And I'm trying to keep that my prominent story and rolling with that. However, there are still little stories that pop in and I try to shut out, but I want to honor of, are you trying to do too much now? Are you like old stories, basically, rather than like moving forward and having faith in one thing, like trying to talk myself out of what I'm trying to work towards now. Does that make sense?
Does it make sense to you? Let's start there.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Yeah. I will share this, like when you're saying this here, there's elements of that really did resonate with me for the element for on that standpoint of do I have any new fears? Have I all like is this a COVID-19 issue, or is this something that has always been my issue, and now in this time it feels like the light is shining on it? You know, that's that question of am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? Like all those feelings are all really coming to the surface, and just feel very exposed right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's how I resonated with that there. Thank you, and you'll see with us here in our spaces here. We're going to go now. I'll ask you another question, and we'll open it up for some more dialogue in here. But you'll see with us here, and Megan, I'm going to ask. There's some birds and wind in the background, so if you're not talking, muted, but unmute yourself anytime you have anything to say, and that goes to anyone, right? As we're going on here, we're finding things that we relate to. We're going to want to share back and kind of comment on the experience. My invitation is that no one here needs fixing, so we're going to come in. Let us honor questions more than answers. Let us bring curiosity in, and the curiosity in service of that other person, right? But if this is a space where we can give people a chance to go a level or two deeper than they can on their own, and leave here with a better question than what they came in with, then we've succeeded as a community. That's part of my definition of success. All right. The other part here is, as we're sharing, if there's things that strike us here, there may be, like, if there's something that we want to share directly to someone, let's go ahead and ask. Like, let's create the space for that in a direct ask. But I would say, like, it'd be really wonderful to also just share the impact of what they said on you. Right, in its own, so that you can go through your journey while also connecting with others. And I want to kind of just have that space so that there isn't, it just gives us more space to be able to express, and also to know more about the things that we don't even know that we're doing for others, and give us a chance to also connect with that as it goes along. All right. So is everyone good with that there? I'm adding some agreements as we go through just to help us navigate this even better. All right. Wonderful. Well, we've gotten the chance now to explore what stories that we're telling ourselves right now. I'll also like to give us a chance to be able to go a little bit into the future. And there'll be a time when this is behind us. There's going to be a time where this is behind us. We don't know. I don't know what the world will look like, but there is a story that we'll be talking about around how we showed up during this time, right? I want to give us an opportunity to, and go ahead and take like about a minute here, and you can write down whatever you need to. Think through, what is a story that you would love to tell people about the way that you showed up during this time? And it doesn't mean that, let's just go with that, with the story you would love to tell, even yourself. A story that you love to tell yourself. I'm not even interested in what you're going to share with others. This one here is about you here, to make sure you have that speed bump. So spend some time right now around that. Now, also, like I said, I'll play in community as well today, and I'll share some of the story I want. Bless you. All right. So I'm going to share a bit on my end, then we'll all go around and share. And then afterwards, we'll get into discussion and see where we want to grow from there. I was going to say go, but grow felt better. So what's the story that I'll love to tell now? I'll tell myself. So when this is all over, the story I love to tell myself is that I showed up. Like, plain and simply, I showed up. There are elements of aspects of what I want the business to look like, or the foundations that I want in place, so on. There's a lot of tactical things that are involved, but more than anything else, to be able to lead through this period and know that, like, the words, I didn't waste this unique opportunity. I didn't waste this unique opportunity to see more of myself, to be more visible and bring more of my visibility, not just out to the masses, but be more visible for me. to have people be able to see more deeply in me, to be able to lean more into my edges and to show up. I know that in my mind that will be manifested by a community that's still going strong, by paid programs that people have felt so connected to what I'm doing that they're like, yeah, this is where I want to, even in the midst of all this uncertainty, I want to continue to invest in myself and with you. And it also, like, that's showing up for me. There's a part of me that tangibly wants it to be. There's a community of trailblazers who, when everyone else is kind of coming out of the fog of COVID, feel solid and feel like they're well positioned to continue to take advantage of whatever the new normal is. Actually, not even just take advantage of it, but to have helped shaped it and said, yeah, the way the world looks this way, my world looks this way because I had been working toward this. In every small decision that I made over the last few months. So that's more of my external element of it all. Internally, to know that I showed up and that was enough. That is the story that I would love to be able to leave this period with and go from there. So I'm looking at my screen right now. I have Zach, then I have Megan, then I have Monique. What's the story that you love to tell yourself? And if there's some outer elements too, my invitation is allow that to be there. Just call it out. See the things that are for you and what are the things that are external. And let's give ourselves that space to be able to see that inner versus external difference if it shows up. And we'll go from there. Zach.
Cool. Thanks, Niyama. The story that I want to tell myself during this time is about the fact that I leapt into the unknown. This is a key part of my purpose in life, is to support others and myself, hold hands with my tribe, and leap into the unknown. And that's what I want to do on this during this time. I don't want to hide in fear. I want to be out. I want to be excited. I want to see it as an adventure. And the smaller details around how that would play out would be that there's a pretty incredible transformation that happens during this time. The caterpillar to butterfly idea, rebuilding my business in a powerful way, being safe financially, and just showing up as a leader. So that's what I want. Thanks.
Thank you, Zach. Megan, how about you?
Is the wind okay if I'm talking?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I would love to tell myself that I honored and respected myself and implemented changes for positive growth. Just since quarantine, I have enrolled in some programs that I've been interested in for quite some time. Personal training, nutrition coach, and some courses on neuroscience and positive psychology, all things that I have backgrounds in, but in order to create my business and do the things that I want to do, it would take some further credentials and just learning in order to make that happen. So I, too, in a way, am saying that I'm going to leap into faith and trust that, you know, the plans that I had for myself and the things that I want to accomplish are within my scope and my reach, and that I have the ability and showed myself that I had the ability to be disciplined and do something different, and all while at the same time of honoring and respecting myself, as in I want to be mindful that I'm not using this time to just be super busy by pursuing these different things or filling, but also just being really real and like honoring if I need to rest and the self-care and developing relationships. So basically, like if I could sum it up in one word or two words, it would be balance and growth. Like
Thank you, Megan and Monique.
So, the story I would like to tell myself at the end of all this is that I was of service. I wrote of service to others, but I guess part of it also is being of service to myself. So, knowing when I'm overextending myself, but also having a knowing of when I'm not and when I can, right? And just starting to, you know what, a sentence came to mind was that like one conversation at a time. And I think I had this like vision that I had to like be of service to like 2,500 people, maybe not that much. But realizing like, oh, it is in every conversation that I have throughout the day, with every person I come into contact, with every conversation I have with myself throughout the day. Like, I can be of service and I can show up in those moments.
Thank you all here. Yeah. Monique, you just gave me a gift here. The impact of that there, of your share right now, hits me with every conversation I have with myself. I don't think that even that one conversation at a time, I'm adopting that thinking. But I don't think I've ever really reflected on I'm having a conversation with me too. And that was really, that for me, that feels powerful, in its own way. So thank you for that. You've given me, that's the impact that it's given me. So I want each of us here to reflect here and reflect back on the core of what it is that we want to be able to say about this time at the end of this year. I'll use some of the words that you use. Zach, you talked about leaping into the unknown, right? Megan, you talked about balance and growth, and like being of service in one conversation at a time. My invitation here, and for me, it's showing up. My invitation here is that we're going to open this up. We're going to do some to really help us see, okay, how can we all move forward with this and bring in some questions, not just problem solve, but we're really in the space of possibility created. And they are two different things. Like problem solving is how do we fix this incremental, how do we make an incremental fix in what's going on? How do we make an incremental improvement? And possibility created is how do we create something how do we live into something that's distinct from the past that we had, right? We might solve problems along the way, or we might find that some of the problems that we're facing right now are completely irrelevant toward what we actually want. And that's why I wanted to spend some time here in this conversation doing two things. I'm going to let you know, kind of what happened underneath it all, because sometimes I just move forward and we don't get a chance to anchor into what's taking place. Part of what we're doing right now is giving you some tools to find your own compass while you're on the speedboat, right? As we're navigating this ocean of uncertainty, the things that are important to know is, where are you right now? Where are you heading towards? And we'll use and over our conversations, we'll continue to see how do you continue to build your compass so that in any given moment, in any given conversation with someone or with yourself, you are aligned toward that North Star. You're aligned toward the direction that is actually that you really want to be in. And you also have the grace, and you're not expending any additional energy. You're not wasting any additional gas in this metaphor here towards things that will keep you from moving forward, right? So we just took some time to just see, like, where are we? Where are we looking to go? And my invitation here is that the way that the compass works is that it's not we get to that end destination not by building our way towards it, but by practicing it in every single breath that we take whenever we remember. But practicing it through every decision that we make. And eventually we'll look back and we'll connect the dots backwards and be able to say, well, in this moment I was in balance and growth. And in this moment I was in balance and growth. And of course my experience has grown into something that has had balance and growth, because all along the way I was continuing to step into that. And so I'd like to bring that into our conversation right now. Practice is really the space that we play. How do we help embody that through every one of our actions. So I'm going to invite you now to take 10 seconds, close your eyes, and really connect with how you want to be showing up. Really connect with your phrase to what it means to you here, and bring that future vision into this moment. For the next 20 minutes while we're together here, let us use that as an opportunity for you to leap into the unknown. Let us use that as an opportunity to experience more balance and growth. Let us use that as an opportunity to be of service, both of self and with others. And I'll use it as an opportunity to show up. And if we're able to do this, or in choosing to do this, and you can open your eyes whenever you want, but connect with it. So take your time. In choosing to do this here, there's nothing else that we need to get done in this conversation. Whatever happens in the conversation, we are actually hitting upon your greatest goals right now. So we'll do some possibility creating, a little bit of problem solving. We'll get curious with one another, but it's how we do this that's important. Fantastic. So I'd love to invite you into a space of support and service here. It might, the way that we play this game, I like to keep it open. It might just be me coaching and bringing out some depth. It might be us going a little bit back and forth. Let's just first start with an area of support. So I'm just thinking about how I want to transition into this properly. Let's just do this. I'm here, I'm showing up. I'm here to support anyone here. If there's a challenge that you're facing that you love to bring into this conversation, or if there's a possibility that you'd like to create as concretely or abstractly as you have it formed for you right now, why don't you go ahead, unmute yourself and share it. And then I'll spend some time working with you to help it. And just know that whatever you bring in here in some way, shape, or form, we're also resonating with it in different ways. And I would say as it's going on, especially when I do coaching, this is the time where you can play in 3 different ways. You can look for yourself to see how do those questions apply to me, and see if you can use that to help you navigate differently. You can listen from the standpoint of, why did Niyama decide to go in that direction? Or, what we can look at the experience itself and learn from that. And you can also just pay attention to some of the things that you can just pay attention to some of the insights that you have for yourself along here, some ways that you might serve others as well with it. All right. So even though we're going down a little bit more one-on-one, let's stay active in it and continue to gain some insight. So I'm here to support. That's it. I'm showing up to support. Who would love to be supported in this moment? Hi, Monique. Hey. Hi. Yeah. So what's the possibility that you love some support on right now?
Yeah. Okay. So I've been really honing in on what I want to create. I've done a lot of work with individuals, but what I really want to do is work within organizations. I have a lot of experience being a cog in a machine, and I know how frustrating that can be. So like changing company culture and doing a lot of work with diversity and inclusion or belonging. And I realized I want to start breathing that organizational structure into life and creating some sort of abstract programming so that someone can look and be like, oh, I'm going to get these things, but that's just the tip of the iceberg because they're going to get everything else.
Can you say that again really quickly here? Because that one in the abstraction there, I lost you just a bit there. So what is it that you're looking to create there?
Yeah, so I wanted to start breathing into life some sort of program where it'll be these are some of the things that we'll work on, but then there's the depth to it that will be particular for a specific company, right? Because not one thing will suit everyone. But having some firm things in place that, like, whether they're teachings or however that looks, so that it can be an offering. And then the rest of the work will fall into place, but like starting to build something instead of just being like, oh, I do whatever for different people, blah, blah, but having something more concrete. That's what I would like to start doing anyways.
How can we serve you in this moment?
Yeah, quarantine confession. I made a choice today to not renew my coaching insurance, which also is like kind of a relief because it created this space where there isn't any pressure to perform. And all of a sudden I like felt all this weight just like fall off my shoulders, and I was like, I can be in a place of creation without having a timeline on like having to create it and offer it and sell it and do all these things. Like I can just start compiling and building and just like really diving into what it is that I want to do without like the external pressures of like having to actually do it in this moment.
Awesome. How can we serve you right now?
I think you just did. I just really needed to say that.
Awesome. So in that case there, I want to like take some time to acknowledge you, right? And what I'd like to acknowledge here is the space. I actually saw it. Like I saw like when you're like, I feel that space fell off the shoulders there. I want to acknowledge you for creating the space for yourself, creating the space for creation, and creating space for yourself in this moment to just express what it is that you want, and express what it is that, like what you're doing to bring that out to life. And I'll honor your decision to just say that, to let you know that you've been heard.
Thank you, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely, Monique. Zach, Megan, how are you? What's going on for you? Who would love some support right now?
So just to clarify, we're just saying what we want support on for right now, or
So Megan, you've never been in a coaching experience with me, so basically you can bring any question that you want to the table, and like I will spend some time going deep with you to help you come up with like your path forward.
Awesome.
I'm bringing my skills as a coach, and it's hard because I'm bringing my skills of service, like everything, just in focus of you. And you have two really powerful people on this call as well. So we're basically here to see things that you can't see and help you leave with a more powerful question than you entered in with.
Right. So right before the call, one thing that came to mind, I am, like I mentioned, I'm pursuing these things. So like the personal training, nutrition coach, doTERRA oils, Kangen water, like basically all the things that I believe in and the lifestyle that I live. Like I'm getting some form of accreditation so that, and knowledge and education so that I can like try to create and like possibly, which is something that I haven't really thought of before this, but like sell these things and like, just like you will with coaching. And that was something that I kind of like got uneasy with. And like last year was like the self-promotion with like teaching yoga or this and that. I just felt like, and I related to Monique when she said about like, she got rid of her certification or her insurance and like didn't feel the need to perform. Like I felt like I was, like needing to, like, I didn't want to have to perform. I don't want to have to like promote and like sell things or talk about them. Like, I just want to be authentic and do. But then something that I realized today is like, but wait, that is me authentic. Like these things. Like I was so anti like selling oils and like the Kangen water and nutrition plans and this and that. And I'm like, but these are like, I've been using these products for years. Like I wouldn't have to change myself and like study things to sell other people on. It's like, that is the authentic me, and like being okay with that, I think. So there's just been like a lot of questions with that kind of stuff of like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be working all the time, or like be vulnerable with people like this? Because the job that I have to support myself before all this is serving, waitressing, which was never pursued as like an end goal. It was always a means to an end. Like while I'm continuing my education, while I'm teaching more, while I'm working on my business. And I just completely lost my train of thought.
so let's do this here, Megan. So I'm hearing a little bit of the context that you're in, right? I'm going to give you a chance. Like if there was a direct question that you had right now, right? And that question, and if you were having an answer to that question would change everything for you. What's the question that you need to ask now?
What question does it seem like I have to ask myself? Is my question for you all. Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, Megan, it's really funny because as you were talking here, there was something I was thinking about that might be fun for us. So let's play into that. Like, let's play into this here. We have 5 minutes left of this conversation, right? You've heard a bit from Megan right now, right? And there's still a lot that's open in all this stuff here, right? So, sorry, I'm laughing here, but I'd love to give you all, Zach and Monique, a chance to play in an alignment with your intention for this experience. All right, Zach, if you're going to leap into the unknown right now, right? Well, let me check it. Megan, are you open to hearing? You said you want to hear from all of
yes,
us, right?
Yes, please, okay, absolutely. Cool. If you're willing,
Zach, if you're willing, if you're going to leap into the unknown right now, what's the question that you would ask Megan? And then Monique, if you're going to be of service. And look at this as one conversation at a time. I'm going to come to you on that next. But if you're going to leap into the unknown, how would you serve Megan right now? And just actually serve her. It's okay.
So I would ask Megan.
And just go ahead and ask. Like, let's not make it even hypothetical. Let's just like, this is your show for now.
When was the last time that you felt joy and excitement around your work, and what was that work?
And pause, Megan. You can think about it. Pause. You don't need to answer it just yet.
Okay.
Right? Thank you, Zach. Monique, what's a question you have for Megan, or anything that what's the service you can bring, given your intention?
Yeah. I kind of had this like insight that was like, what if we stop performing and selling and just start living what we do and what we love and why we do it?
Awesome. And I'm going to bring one more thing to you here, Megan, and then I'll wrap us all up here to kind of talk about what happened here. I'm feeling you right now. I'm feeling the level of like, I don't want to sell, but this is also 100% me. And this is actually how I would love to live my life. And this is the authentic me. I do use these things. I do like there's not a disconnect there. So when I'm hearing this here, what I'm hearing is maybe the element of not being in balance with what quote unquote selling means to you. Right. Mm-hmm. Is like, are you, for me, I'm like, what's the balance and growth that lives within this space? I have a distinction between selling and enrolling. Selling being like, here goes all the things and here goes all the benefits that I'm kind of externally putting on top of you. And enrolling being like giving people the opportunity to better themselves and to have the experiences that they have. I'll be enrolling all throughout the community through different things that I do to bring people into different experiences that I have. But there's very little time that I want to convince people about it. I just want to make sure that they know that the opportunity to go deeper or to continue their journey for themselves has room as well, right? And the thing that's really interesting is that I have found it to be I am out of integrity and out of service when I don't give people the opportunity to actually work with me, to actually have a financial exchange with me. I've had 3 people reach out to me in the last month that are like, and this goes back to my story this morning, that are like, Niamba, you have overserved. There's so much that you're providing that like I feel bad taking advantage of all this here, And part of what I've realized is that I haven't. There's even I'm like keep receiving, and I need to create those opportunities to receive to help them. How do I say it? To help them be in integrity with themselves, to be able to have that level of commitment to themselves, to be able to move forward on that next path with themselves, right? And so there's different ways that I'm looking at it there, but there's that element that comes out where it's like, what might be out of balance for you in terms of the old approach that you had to selling all of these things, and how can you bring more balance with who you are and bringing that authenticity into that element of sales. And for me, that balance for me, I call it enrolling, whatever that would look like for you. Cool.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So my intent here was to leave you with a question, with some more powerful questions. So you have a few different ones here. Zach, Monique, I really acknowledge you for leaping into the unknown and bringing whatever you needed to be in service in this conversation here. The reason I paused there on her answers is less because of time and more because this was I wanted you all to have another element of practice. Megan can play with each of those questions that she has here, knowing that each of you is really powerful. But I would this is the game. I was like, this is the game that we're playing. So I want to give us that opportunity to root into that. Let's end this conversation with just going around one person at a time. We're right at the top of the hour, but we're going to just go with two words or a phrase that captures your greatest insight from today. All right, we'll go Zach, Monique, Megan, and then we'll end for today.
The phrase is build your compass by practicing in every moment.
Cheers. Monique.
Yeah, I guess it would be just honesty and authenticity in my experience.
And Megan.
Full force ahead.
Full force ahead. Love it. Love it all. We're going to keep meeting next Friday. We'll have another one of these sessions. We're also going to meet next Thursday. So wherever you are in the world, same time, same place, same room, we'll be meeting here. And in between, I want to make sure you all have each other as well and continue to grow. So if you're not yet, you can go to the Facebook group, which is at niamba.com/community. And we're having ongoing conversations. I'm actually really seeing, again, I'm going with over service. I want that to be my theme. I've served too much. All right. So I'll send you a follow-up email so that you can all find a way to grow from this year. We'll have the recording of that in that place so you can watch the replay as well and continue to grow from there, right? I see you all. I acknowledge you all, and I feel honored by all of you here. I'm looking forward to what else comes next. Thank you, Monique. Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Zach. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Niamba. Thank you, everyone.
Night.